Start.
Hello, welcome. My name is Rachel Davis. I'm Director of Warwick Enterprise at the University of Warwick.
And I'm Lewis Beer. I'm International Partnerships Officer at the University of Warwick, but until very recently I was an Enterprise Development Officer in Warwick Enterprise. My current role is a bit different, but it still involves a lot of involvement with student-facing innovation and entrepreneurship opportunities.
So welcome to our session titled Student Innovation at Warwick. We're going to talk to you about a project that we've recently completed that hopefully will be useful to hear about, and also the lessons that we learned. So University of Warwick is a research-intensive institution in Coventry, UK, and part of the Russell Group. Established in 1965, it has an entrepreneurial reputation with a global focus. It hosts approximately 28,000 students annually and employs about 6,500 staff. So the University Strategy 2030, Excellence with Purpose, presents two core purposes, research and education, and both are supported by 4 strategic pillars, one of which is innovation. The relevance of this is now more pertinent than ever as we move into the COVID-19 recovery. Our innovation strategy launched at the start of 2020. Principle number 1 of which is that every student should get a chance to engage with innovation as part of their distinctive Warwick learning experience. By 2025, there will be a range of in-curricular and co-curricular opportunities to enable each student to evidence this. Work is underway to build capability across degree programme structures, but it is not a one-size-fits-all approach, as the university has 33 academic disciplines, each with its own signature pedagogy. Inspiration, education, and incubation is the methodology that encompasses our approach, and interventions are categorised in this way. The model recognises the importance of the 3 stages in inspiring and enabling student entrepreneurship, and there are specific programmes that support graduates launch their businesses when they complete their studies. The model also recognises that entrepreneurship is not just about starting a business, but how individuals can transform organisations, communities and policies by developing a spectrum of entrepreneurial knowledge and skills. Innovation process, creativity, enterprise and entrepreneurship are all terms that we use to discuss this.
So in Warwick Enterprise, part of our job is, as Rachel was just saying, to help create a culture of innovation for all, with specific focus on students, graduates, and alumni. During 2019, we developed our communication channels and our relationships with academic departments, and we started to see much larger numbers of students and from a much more diverse range of disciplinary backgrounds engaging with our programs. We also had some really interesting conversations with academic colleagues about the work they were doing, and those conversations really made us ask, what else don't we know about? What if we could have these same kinds of conversations with every academic department? And so in the first half of 2020, that's what we did. I took the lead on this. I sent personalized emails to colleagues from all over the university. Almost all of them responded, which was surprising and amazing, and almost all of them were willing to meet and have in-depth discussions about student innovation. The end result of this is an online resource which we've developed. It's visible only to members of staff at Warwick, but there'll be a link later on to a sort of public page which gives you some information about this. But this internal website contains detailed reports on 33 academic departments, outlining in each case how that department fosters student innovation. The resource amounts to about 56,000 words, and it has involved communications with over 115 members of staff. Each of the 33 reports has also been approved by the relevant head of department, often following substantial discussion and revision. So we obviously don't have time to tell you all about this, but I'm just going to summarize a few things that we've learned from this whole process, and I've arranged these into 4 categories. The first category is about defining innovation. So this was a big challenge we needed to tackle from the start. We defined innovation essentially by aligning it with the terms enterprise, entrepreneurship, and creativity. And we used the 2018 QAA document on enterprise and entrepreneurship, which I'm sure you all know, to support this. We also compiled this list of categories to give a sense of all the different ways in which students can engage with innovation or develop an innovation skill set. And this was really essential in prompting those conversations with colleagues, because a lot of those colleagues started out by saying, oh, you know, we don't really do innovation or enterprise at the start of the conversation. And then when they looked at this list and we talked through it, they said, okay, yeah, we definitely do innovation and enterprise. Here's lots of stuff I can tell you about. The challenge here really was to define innovation in a way that was broad enough to be inclusive, but still very clear and well-defined. And this allows us to take account of student-facing activities across 33 academic departments, and staff have been able to see in each case how these activities, you know, are relevant to student innovation. The second point I want to make is about forming relationships with departments. For us as a department, as Warwick Enterprise, to form relationships with those academic departments. The reciprocal dialogues that we've engaged in throughout this project have led to the development of what we hope will be lasting, meaningful connections between us and other departments. A lot of them, as I said before, they already knew that we were doing good work for students. They were happy to promote the opportunities that we were running. But now they know a lot more about what we do, why it's relevant to what they do, and how we could work together in the future. So there's huge scope for us to do new things and reach a larger, more diverse segment of the student population. The third category is about university strategy. So another really useful outcome of this project is that it shows how relevant the innovation strategy is to Warwick's education and employability strategies. Many staff have said that the appeal of innovation is that it's an accessible way for students to start thinking about employability or interdisciplinarity or similarly daunting concepts. Our extensive and detailed survey shows that all of these departments are doing a lot of the things that university strategies say they should be doing. It's just a question of how it's framed and underlined and communicated to students. So innovation is a really helpful lens through which to do this. And that's a really good positive message to be able to draw from this whole exercise. The final point I want to make is about what I would call cultural challenges. And for me, this is the most interesting thing. So I mentioned earlier that a lot of colleagues initially don't think that they do innovation or enterprise. But it also has to be said that some of them don't think they should be doing innovation. They see the discourse of enterprise, especially, a bit like the discourse of employability, as a symptom of neoliberal values, you know, encroaching on academic standards, promoting the idea that students need to think in very instrumental, pragmatic, career-focused ways about what they do at university, rather than engaging in learning for learning's sake. I think it's very important for us as enterprise educators to take these perspectives seriously and to take the time to really listen to these voices and engage with them. Listening and engaging, I think, are the two things that have really enabled this project to be successful. One of the most satisfying outcomes is that even those colleagues who were most skeptical or even suspicious have ended up saying, when they looked at the resource, okay, you know, this is pretty good. And they've given their approval for those reports to be published to other staff. These are colleagues who take education very seriously. They're doing really innovative, exciting things with students. And if we can't implement our innovation strategy in a way that includes them, then we're obviously doing something wrong and missing something important. So I'll hand back to Rachel for the last bit of the presentation.
Okay, so what happens next? So we're embarking on a challenging academic year, many aspects of which are still unclear. As a consequence of the consultation, however, we've established the Warwick Innovation Network. Now, this includes an academic ambassador for innovation in each department that will serve as our main communication channel. The resource, the online resource, will provide the baseline data set for tracking the implementation of the innovation strategy, and this will be supported by core academic governments, as well as tangible links with teaching and learning excellence agencies. So even though we're moving into a period of great uncertainty, we see this resource as really critical in helping us build moving forwards. Okay, so I think we're available for questions. Thank you.